Let's talk to Jim in Canada. We've been having good luck with Canadians. Jim, you're live with Eric and Owen. What would you like to talk about?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I was, it's nice to talk to you guys. This is the first time I've called in, but I wanted to maybe jump forward a little bit. I'm not a historian myself, but I have been watching the impact of religion on a lot of my friends' kids. Mm-hmm. Myself, I consider myself an atheist, although I had somewhat of a religious upbringing. But I've watched it, including a couple of close family members who are religious in their child rearing, and I know that one of my I don't want to say too much, but one of my nephews is gay for sure, and he's been brought up in this super Christian, like a born-again Christian type family.
Ooh, I was a born-again Christian. Okay.
He's really struggling, and he's reached out to me, and we've talked a little bit, but what I just really wanted to sort of ask people to consider is when you're bringing kids up in a modern world with such heavily traditionalized roles in gender and in masculinity and femininity, and all of those things are revolving right in front of us, and it requires a more, I don't know, open mind especially with your kids, to allow them to develop. This is causing a really, really significant problems, like life or death situations.
Jim, are you saying that Bronze Age, people didn't have a perfect grasp of morality and ethics? I entirely agree. Because I entirely agree. When you take a text that's that ancient, there's no way you're going to be able to apply it to what we've got. I think you're going to be talking to two people who agree with you. Owen, what do you think?
I think, honestly, I feel like we're lucky that the Bible wasn't even worse than it was. Like, it's pretty bad, but considering like how old it is and what the culture was like back then, oh my God, dude, we do not want to base our morality off of something from that era, from that type of culture. That is seriously scary.
Yeah, and I see the harm that it's done to these, to my nephews who are young men now, and what they're struggling with because of it, and because the world doesn't align with what they've been taught. And it was kind of the same thing for me. And I had a pretty high moral standard about right and wrong and being truthful, but I was at a real disadvantage growing up because of that, because that didn't actually fall into line with the majority of what I was dealing with. And then when you start talking about a person's true character, if they're gay, that's not a choice that they're making, and their religion doesn't allow for it, and their parents have been making fun of homosexuals their whole life.
Yeah.
And I wish people, these religious people, would consider the impact of their commonplace dinner chatter about how they put down people who are different. Because if your kids are different,
so too,
and you don't recognize that your kids are different, and they're listening to you say that, that's fucked. Pardon me. That's terrible. And I just want more people to consider that.
Jim, you're right. It's fucked.
Thanks.
I think you put a good finger on it. But and it looks like you want to say something. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. I was gonna say I agree. It is fucked, and I think that in the U.S. at least we have lived with generation upon generation upon generation of people who do that kind of shit. Like, we're just now coming to the point in society where gay people are receiving some level of acceptance. Like, up to this point, back in the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s, the 2000s, there was absolute like disgusting treatment of these people. And to some extent, it's still a huge problem. It's a problem we're still working on. But I think that we can see society moving forward in a good direction, and we can take solace in that fact. Like, I hope that we can see this move forward progressively as time goes on.
And you're contributing to it, Jim. You said that they're looking to you, and really that is what the hope is. That's what we want. You know, make sure that you're a safe place. Make sure that you're there to listen and to talk to them and be a resource for them. And it sounds like you're doing that perfectly.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks. I definitely want to, just try to just offer that the opposite, not the opposite, but you can be a moral, decent person without religion. I feel, and I like that I can take credit for the good things I do, and that I can take responsibility for my mistakes and learn from them.
Good. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep spreading that and hoping that more people pick up on it, because that's how we're going to get to that better world.
Thanks for letting me share. I appreciate it. You guys have a great morning.
You too.
You too.
Take care.